discuss what is RTT. It is a time, round trip time is the time it takes for the small packet to travel from client to server and then back to the client. That is actually round trip time. So now let's see the HTTP format for the request as well as response. See here, this is actually the format for that thing where SP represents space, CR is nothing but carriage return, IF is a line speed. We will see one by one. The first type is, see, we are going to divide it into request line, header lines, body, and we have CR and LF. This is called blank. Okay, this is called blank line. Okay, request line, header line, blank line, and the body entity or the body. Okay, in the request line, the first part is method. So there are 5 HTTP methods. One is get, post, put, head, and delete. Okay, so in the method I can put get also. If I put the get method, which is used when the browser requests an object with the requested object identified in the URL field. If I put as a post, the user is still requesting a web page from the server, but the specific contents of the web page depending on what the user entered into the form field. If the value of the method field is post, then the entity body contains what the user entered into the form field. You can use put also. Put method is also used by the application that need to upload the objects to web server. Head, if I use the head method, it is used to retrieve the header informations. It is used for debugging purposes. I can put delete also. So get, post, put, head and delete. Delete method allows the user or an application to delete an object from the web browser. Then the next field is SP is for space. Next field is you have to give the space there. URL. Specified URL of the requested object. Next part is version space. After space it is version. This field will tell the HTTP version, usually HTTP bar 1.1. Next is the header line. In the header line, we will be having the header field name, value, CR is carriage return and LF is line feed. Okay. For example, the host is www.google.com. Connection you have to write whether it is open or close. User agent, whether you are using Mozilla or Google Chrome with the version 5.0 or whatever the case. And accept language, which language you are going with, the French or English, like that. So these are the ways I'll show you like this. HTTP with the version 1.1, 200 with the OK. So like this, it is going to take the request type. Okay. And so next part, the header line, that is a host, whatever you are calculating, www.google.com, specify the host on which the object is resides, which includes the connection, header line. The browser is telling the server that is not does not want to bother with the persistence connection. It wants a server to close the connection after sending the requested object. And we have a agent also. So it will tell the browser type that making use of the request to the server. And we'll be having the accept languages, which indicates that the user prefer to receive English version of the object or any other languages like French, Germany, like that. If such an object exists on the server, otherwise the server should send a default version. So this is about the request part. So and we have everywhere we will be having this. Okay, this is one of the example. Next part is HTTP response. So response also start with, we will be having the following lines. One is called status line, header line, blank line and entity body, similar to that. But in header line, it will start with the version. version is http/1.1, and status code 200 OK is a status code with the phrase. Okay, next we'll take one example and we will explain the case. Connection also, here you can write connection type, it is, see here, here the connection type, it is keep alive instead of close. If I put close, it will terminate after it initiating the response. If I write keep alive, it will be in online only, it will be on. Okay, then we can have a date here like Sunday 26 March. This format is also available along with the server, which type of Apex server with the version, with the operating system CentOS. And you can see here loss modified. Okay, along with the content length and content type. We will see one by one what actually the status line will tell. Status line will be having three fields. Okay, version, status code, and the corresponding status message. Stated code and associated phrase indicates the result of the request. See, 200 OK means the data transfer is successful. That is the result of the request. Some common state codes and associated phrase includes. I'll show you some of the other codes. See, if it is 200 OK, it is succeeded. If it is 301 moved permanently, so the request object is moved to a new location in that message. So sometimes you will see 400 with the bad request. Okay, the message is not understood by the server. Or you can say 404, usually 404 not found, means the document is not available in the server. So 505 HTTP version not supported, instead of 1.1 you are given other. So these are some of the example of status code. Okay, next part is the header field. You can see the header field, what and all it contains. Header field, it contains a connection type. Here it is keep alive, it's a connection type. We are going to have tell the client will be alive. Okay, after sending the message also we'll be having a date, indicates the time and the date when the HTTP response was created and sent by the server. And we will be having a server information which indicates the message was generated by the TAPAC web server, and it is analogous to the user agent. Header line in the HTTP request message. And we have loss modified also, which indicates that the time and the date when the object is created or modified. Then the content length will give the number of bytes in the object being sent, and the content type will tell the objects in the entity body is HTML text. So this is a format for response. So we have discussed now HTTP request and HTTP response format.